Hi everyone, Constant Labs here. Now, I've just spent the last half a day with AI to build Gemini OS. I don't know what I should call it. It's basically a set of lab tools that run on an Arduino Mega and this LCD shield. Now, there's been plenty of bumps and stuff, and I'm probably not going to release this because it's made by AI. And I know people have divided opinions about AI, but I did want to post about it. We have a fully working menu system with calibration for the touchscreen. So let's start from a new user perspective. The logo is based on Google Gemini's. So when you first start up, it'll ask you to calibrate the touchscreen. Now you can use your fingers or your stylus, doesn't matter. After that, it'll use the pop-up API that has been implemented to tell you that it's been saved. Let's go through the apps. First, we have the Dash app. This was going to be a dashboard for a different project. It's for a little temperature thing. But right now, it's actually just a demo. And then over here, this is a pop-up API test. This is the settings app. You can see that what apps are installed. There's an about screen. Yeah, there's the back button and the home button. If you go in here and hit the home button, it'll go back home. I was going to add an SD card slot. I'll use this one, but the pinout on a Mega is different, so we'll have to connect it here if I make one. Over here, the storage module is offline because there's nothing connected. This is a demo, so there's no real code behind it. Okay, these two are the first two lab apps that I actually have, which help with debugging and things like that. So I'll have to show you each one individually. First up, we have the Scope app, which is really simple. It's just an oscilloscope. I don't have any devices, so it's picking up noise in my room. I don't have anywhere to test, but I did short it to ground, and it does show just a flat line. This app is pretty simple. You can change the X scale. You can change the Y zoom and pause the graph. Okay. There is a bit of bugs still, but that should be okay. Alright, next app. What does this display, and this display have in common? Well, with this have in common? They all use I2C. So this tool will scan for and test each of these displays. Let's start with a big one. So just match up SDA and SCL and plug them in as it doesn't matter if you know the address or not because the software will scan for it. And next we have VCC, which is just connected to the 5 volts on the big pins. Hang on. And then just connect ground wire. So now that the module is turned on, we can open the I2C app and then start the scan. We see it. We can press test display, LCD, and then this is a 16:2. It initializes and shows a test message. Onto the OLEDs. First up, this is the OLED that many Arduino projects like to use, the classic SST1306 128x64 display. If we scan for it, we can see that it lives at 0x3C, and then if we press test display, and then choose OLED, and then let's bring this over, and then we choose 128x64, it'll send the message across. Now this display here is less common. It is used for Wemos D1s. This is an OLED shield, and I will wire it up with respect to the pin configuration of D1 and D2. While I don't know which one is SCL and SDA, if I get it wrong, the software will not see the display, so I can just switch them around. So first we can unplug our old display. We can then pick out the two wires, pick any order because we'll switch it if it's wrong. And then We'll place the power into 3B3. Hang on. And then we'll plug the ground into the G. Okay. And here's where we validate our gamble. If we press scan, we don't see it. So what you do now is you reverse the wires, and then if we press scan again, we can see that it's found something at 0x3C. Then now, if we go here to test display OLED 64x48, it'll send it over. That's about all there is to this tool. Let me know if there would be interest in releasing this type of thing, but given that it is made with AI, as I'm better with hardware than I am with software, so I'm not sure if there will be backlash against me for doing that. Hence, this project will just stay as a little tool that I might use, might not use. I might add stuff to it depending on how I feel. The base tool itself, all it is just an Arduino Mega. Now, the Mega is good because we have these I/O ports, but it is worse than something like, say, an ESP or another more powerful processor device. While I can run all of these apps on something like an ESP, I might want to expand in the future. So in that case, I will either have to modify the kernel to give it a coprocessor, or if I run the kernel on this, and then use a screen, and then a coprocessor of maybe this board or another board. In that case, it might be a better tool, but as it stands, this is all you need. This is not a real Mega, I don't think. And this screen is some random one that I bought a while ago. Just decided to play with it. But yeah, overall, that's about it for this tool. I might add more features in the future. But yeah, that's Kongston Labs signing out.